What's up? If you are looking to get better at Loki or learn all of his secret tips and tricks, this is the place for you. This is going to be a very in-depth guide for Loki. A lot of tips, a lot of tricks, a lot of hidden features. I will try to make it quick, though. I really will. All right? So one of his first abilities here is we're just going to go over his Mystic Missile, which is his first weapon. It's his main ability. You can see it right here. Mystic Missile. Mystic Missile shoots a projectile. On the projectile hit, it will explode into a spell field, okay? I know that seems weird. That's what the game calls it, so that's what I am going to call it. On a projectile hit, whether it's an enemy, an ally, or a floor, it's going to generate a spell field with a 3-meter radius, okay? Something really important to know. Loki's spell field heals and does damage. The projectile itself does not deal damage. The green circle that you shoot does 0 damage and heals for 0 health. Okay? The spell field that bursts the green that you see, that's what heals and does damage.
They are in front of
so
us.
aim at the floor or something like that. You have intuition, you'll be fine. You have an ammo mag of 10 bullets. Okay? Your fire rate is 1.75. So every shot, you shoot another shot after 1.75 seconds. Okay? With an ammo mag of 10 and a 3-second reload. Okay? Sounds cool. Your projectile speed is 100 meters a second, which sounds like a lot, and it should be a lot. But in this game, that's one of the slowest projectiles. Iron Man, Spider-Man, Iron Fist, tough luck, dude. You're going to have to lead ahead and just hope and pray with blind faith, all right? So good luck. Good luck. Oh, another thing. Sorry, I was reading the script. Cannot do critical damage, so aim for the floor again. You can't even hit headshots because it's a field. I'm going to look at the script again. If you think this is off the top of my head, you're completely wrong. I'll be right back. Side cam. All right. Here it says that we need to go over the clones and doppelgangers. Loki has an ability called Doppelganger. What that does is it places illusions. Again, I am going to call his skills what the game calls them. Okay? So it says Doppelganger. Project an illusion. Whoa. Okay. You'll hear these things called one of 3 things by the community or most players. Clone, illusion, doppelganger. Okay? If you hear it called anything else, that person's probably insane. I don't know. Your clones or your doppelgangers can use some of the skills that you use, or even bigger, they shoot where you shoot. And it's not an illusion. These bullets are real. The spell field is real. Okay? So where you shoot, they shoot. Where you look, they look. Where you do whatever, they do whatever. The 2 things you need to know: they cannot move, all right? And they cannot contest an objective. So they cannot hold a payload. They cannot push something. They can't do anything. They can't hold overtime. So these things are, at the end of the day, illusions, right? They can cast spells, but at the end of the day, they're illusions. This is a super beginner guide, and we will go more in depth later. I just need you to know what these do before I get further in, okay? So once we have our 2 clones out, we can really get into the grud, the dirty. Well, let me turn on this. Loki heals for 40 health a spell field, right? So heals for 40 health. Because you have clones, now you're healing for 120 health. With some quick maths here, we can determine this. 3 clones, each firing a spell field that does 40 healing for a total of what? That's correct. 120 healing. 120 healing. You have 10 bullets in a clip. You are now healing for 1,200 health over the course of 6 seconds if you're landing your shots. Which, you got a big projectile, so you should. Meaning, that boy's not going to die, okay? People say Loki's a bad healer, and he can be against certain comps. But the really important thing to remember here is you need to just heal 1 person. Your team healing, not very good. Not very good. But your single target healing is unparalleled, unmatched, okay? You literally just look at a guy and you keep shooting, that boy ain't going anywhere. He will stay alive, okay? Another really important thing to remember, the only time an ally or a tank needs to be in danger or needs to feel in danger is when you need to reload. 3 seconds of no healing can go a long way in this game. You can die really quick, okay? To go right into the next point, which is damage, okay? Loki does 30 damage a shot, or with 3 clones, he does 90 damage a shot, right? 10 bullets in a clip, that is 900 damage if you land all your shots with 3 clones. That's a little problematic and unrealistic. Still very doable, though, right? Another thing that is really different about his damage that not a lot of people know about. With his healing, if there's an ally within the orb of healing, they're going to heal, right? They're going to heal for that full 40 amount. The damage in the... Let me reword this. The spell field has damage fall off. If an enemy is standing at the point of origin, they will take full damage. But from 0.05 meters in the origin of the spell, right? So if you're 0.05 meters away from the point of origin, damage fall off begins. If you are 2.5 meters away from the point of origin, you will now be taking 50% damage. As an example, we can look right here. If I have 3 clones out and I hit somebody directly, that's a lot of damage. But if I'm aiming here, if I'm aiming a bit away, that hurts. That hurts. But on the spell side, look, I'm healing both of these guys, even though they're super far away. I'm healing both of them the same amount. Healing does not have fall off. Damage has fall off. Okay? So that's really good to know. Remember, aim at people's feet or aim at allies, okay? If you're aiming at an ally, you have 2 options. 1, they're healing for full health. Or 2, if there's an Iron Fist or a tank or if something's on them, that person's also being hurt. Because remember, it's a spell field, meaning you can both damage and heal at the exact same time, okay? Super versatile. We're going to go into his abilities now, but I'm going to move to a different part of the map. I will be right back. Welcome back to the ability section of this video. We are going to be sorting the abilities from the least impactful to the most impactful. Starting right into it, we have our ability Backstab. It is more of a passive ability that turns his melee, which, dude, a lot of people don't know this. Every character in the game has a melee. It's V. It's bad. It's not good. It does 30 damage, but everyone has one. All right, so do that. So you press V, but if you're Loki, you do 15 more damage if you hit somebody from the back. Right? So your stab goes from 30 damage to 45 damage if you hit somebody from the back. Back shots. His next ability is Devious Exchange. Once you place an illusion, you can switch positions with that illusion. When I say switch, I mean switch. Okay? If you're at 10 health and you switch positions, you will stay at 10 health. If the clone or illusion is at 10 health and you switch, that thing will stay at 10 health. You are only switching positions. There is no anything else. Okay? You are just switching. You will switch to whatever illusion you are looking at. Okay? If you are not looking at an illusion, you will switch to whatever one's closer. Okay? The maximum range for a switch is 13 meters. So, from here to those bots over there is the farthest range you can switch. Alright? Super cool. It has a cooldown of 15 seconds. So you can't be like me in the training range and just keep switching, right? Next is Deception. One of his most misused abilities in the game. Once you press right click, you leave an illusion at your location and you go invisible. And this is wrong button. Sorry about that. This is complete invisibility, not invulnerability. You can still take damage. Another thing a lot of people don't know about, I'm invisible here. If I touch an enemy, immediately become uninvisible, right? Or become visible is the word for that if you're curious. When you are invisible, you heal for 20 health a second, okay? So when you're invisible, you heal for 20 health a second. That is incredibly slow in this game, but it's better than nothing, okay? So it takes 12... I have it written down somewhere. It takes 12.5 seconds to get to full health if you're Loki, okay? A few things you can do when you're invisible. You cannot shoot. I outnumber you. But the only thing you can really do is 3 things. There's 3 things you can do. You can reload, which is incredibly helpful, right? You can cast Doppelganger.
I outnumber you.
Something a lot of people don't know is if you switch with Devious Exchange, you stay invisible and switch places. Right? So I can place a clone, switch places, and stay invisible. What this is good for is a lot of people think this is you leaving invisibility. So they start targeting you, and now you're at your other clone. Staying invisible is incredibly helpful. Don't sleep on it, right? Next ability we're going to go over is Regeneration Domain. This is his most potent and powerful ability that nobody talks about, and it is incredibly misused. All right? I wish I had an ally in here with me, but this is pretty much the generation, and this is Loki right here, right? He just literally, it's one button, and you generate a runic circle on the ground and one runic rock above the ground. The only two ways this circle goes away is if the rock is destroyed or 5 seconds pass without it being destroyed. It goes away by itself. If any allies or any allies in the circle cannot take damage and they heal for 100 health a second. The thing that makes this so OP, any damage you take, 30% of that damage you get in health immediately for your entire team, right? So if Thor's in here and he's healing, or if Thor's in here and he takes 1,000 of damage, right? He heals for 1,000 health. I'm going to take a drink of water. I'll be right back. Kind of losing my voice. I'm so sorry. Okay. So in this regeneration domain, any damage you take is turned to health. Okay? So if Scarlet Witch ults, if anybody ults, any damage in the entire game heals you. Why are people sleeping on it? Any damage in the entire game heals you. Magneto's ult, Star-Lord's ult, Scarlet Witch's ult. Every ult in the game heals you. And the only way they can prevent that is damaging this crystal. The crystal has 100 health. So it's very easy to destroy. But let me preface this again. Scarlet Witch ults, press this before she ults. Now you won't die. Right? Star-Lord ult. Star-Lord's ult targets players. It doesn't target this. I will just eat that up. 0 damage taken, and now I heal for that amount of health. Okay? This pairs very well with our next ability. We're going to go more in depth with Doppelganger. More in depth with Doppelganger means I'm going to go over all the things they can do. So, again, without Doppelganger, Loki is by far the worst character in the game. If he does not have his clones out, he is completely and utterly useless. Very little damage, very little healing. Seems like a bad combo. With his clones and smart resource management, he has some of the best damage for support and some of the best healing for support in the entire game. Do not sleep on it, all right? Your clones not only shoot where you shoot, but they can cast 2 abilities that you cast. First ability is Backstab. Some people don't know this. It's not very good, realistically. You can place a clone, stab, switch, stab. Okay? Things like that. I learned that from a YouTube video recently from Zuko. Shout out to that boy. Check that out. That's a really good guide as well. But again, you have a melee ability, and all your clones copy it. It's not the best thing in the world. It's really not, and it's very niche. The thing that's not niche, though, is when you cast Regeneration Domain, so does your entire team, or your entire clones, I should say. This does mean, at 1 button press, you get 3 circles that your entire team, if they're in that circle, takes 0 damage. It heals for every time they take damage. They don't take damage. It's a circle. Every 20 seconds, you have a big FU button to the entire team. Okay? Meaning nobody takes damage. It counters almost every ult in the game. And not only does it counter it, it turns it against them. Boom, trap card, bitch. Now your fucking Scarlet Witch ult just healed my entire team for full health. Tough luck, ho. It's incredible. Don't sleep on it. Please. Okay? His last ability, well, his ultimate, I should say, is God of Mischief. Okay? The only thing this ability does is you copy an enemy or an ally's character and their cosmetic, just so you know. But you copy their hero. You have all their abilities and everything like that. Just for an example, a really good learning is we're going to switch to Penny. Let's switch to Penny. Penny Parker. So, first thing I want you to do as soon as you open Loki, go to your settings. Once you're in settings, go to keyboard or controller. Go to combat. Right here or here, change hero into Loki. Loki right here. Boom, he's behind me, sorry. Loki
Our foes draw near.
has a hero settings. Every hero in the game has unique settings just for them. Okay, right here. What I want you to do is I want you to turn on this ability, double confirm for God of Mischief. Okay? Double confirm for God of Mischief. I'll show you what this does right now. Normally, if you look at somebody and you press Q, or whatever ability it is on controller, I don't remember, instead of immediately copying them, it opens this very tiny window where you have time to confirm if that's who you want to turn into. Trying to copy a Thor and accidentally copying Jeff, bad feeling. This counters that completely. Another amazing thing for that, even if you're not having that issue, is you can press Q, turn around, start walking away, and then you can confirm it. Okay? So this gives you time to press Q and then turn around, turn a corner, and now you can still press it. So if you're a Scarlet Witch waiting to ult, if you're Hela waiting to ult, this gives you a few extra seconds, and it's just good to do. It's just good to do in all general. Let's say we decide to copy Penny. We have all of their abilities, including their ultimate. Their ultimate is immediately off cooldown. Okay? So we can cast all their abilities, all their ultimates, everything like that. I'm going to let this run out. I'll be right back. Another incredibly helpful, amazing thing is this. Oh, let me get this.
I have many
Bing.
faces.
When we decide to copy somebody, right above my head, you can see a timer. It starts at 15 seconds, right? We play the character for 15 seconds. We immediately start at full health. We have all of their abilities. It's epic. And then we decide to pop our ult. You see, if you decide you pop your ult, it restarts the timer. Depending on the hero you play, it gives you a different amount of time. But it immediately restarts the timer. So you have another 15, 7, whatever seconds it is. Okay? It's incredibly helpful. A few tips. Last tips to give you, okay, before you go on and start your own Loki journey. If you don't know anything, or if you know things that I don't know, leave it in the comments, please. I want to learn, okay? Second thing, if you leave God of Mischief, you have the same health you had when you went in. Another thing, use your abilities before you use God of Mischief, because when you're in God of Mischief, whether it's Penny or whatever character you're in, your countdowns or your cooldowns also are being ticked down. So always use your abilities before you use God of Mischief, not after. You have two options with Loki where to place your doppelgangers. You can place them on high ground and rain down like an AC 130. Or what I prefer to do is I place them on the same level as me. This gives me meat shields. This gives my teammates more, or this gives the enemies more things to target, right? So now they have, 2 or 3 more things to target. This also means my regeneration domain, when I decide to use it, can cover more friends, can cover more enemies, can cover whatever you need to cover. So I recommend that, okay? Because using it as shields, using it as cover is more helpful in my playtest, in my opinions, right? That's really all it is. I'm sure I missed a few things. Leave it down below. My throat is going out, or pause. My voice is going out. So let me know if I missed anything. I will catch y'all later. Peace. Thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.